7 symptoms of spiritual complacency. Let's go on with our list of symptoms that can indicate that you are spiritually complacent. We know that looking for idleness is normal to human beings, and that's okay. Why would we look for pain? Something that will bother us. It wouldn't make much sense. We look for rest, idleness, pleasure. But the great problem here is not everything that is good is in pleasure or in complacency. And not everything that is bad, that can hurt us, will bother us. Yes. It's common for you to eat some food and to indulge yourself with fast food, fizzy drinks, a whole chocolate cake. It gives you pleasure, which means it is good in the mouth, but later you will be sick in your body. So not everything that's bad tastes bad, because at first it tastes good, and the opposite is also true. Not everything that is good and the taste is good. At times the taste is bad, but the result is good as a medicine. Likewise in life. If you look for complacency and you don't come out of your comfort zone to do the things that will do you good, your end will be terrible. So for you to remain, spiritually speaking, in other aspects of life, to remain standing, you must make peace with what bothers you. Discomfort, yes. You need to look for that, because if you don't face discomfort, you end up becoming complacent. And if you are complacent, you end up becoming bothered. We shared 3 symptoms. Today we most probably will speak about the 4th and the 5th. The 4th is your church attendance becomes infrequent and sporadic. This is a natural sign. Why? Because first of all, to attend a church, it causes some discomfort, per se. For you to go to church, you need to leave the place you are, whether your house, your work. You need to leave point A to go to point B, the church. Just with this, you need to move, to commute. So there's a cost of traveling, fuel, time, traffic. So you need to overcome some obstacles. At times, the service time is not the most convenient. And here, there's some discomfort. To go to church on its own causes discomfort. That's why many, since the pandemic, they learned with it that they could be at home, watching an online service. Now, everything that we are going to do in church, everything we announce, this day we're going to have this and that, people will always ask, will it be broadcasted? Will it be on the internet? Because people don't want to go to church. And I understand for those who are distant and don't have access. But this is not always the case, because many have access. But the comfort of watching a service from home is good. For you to leave the house, it causes discomfort. So it starts here. The person feels discomfort and they don't want. And to add on top of this normal discomfort that we all face, there are the thoughts, the arguments from the devil that tell you, God is everywhere. I don't need to go to church to speak to God, to connect myself with God. And we have been teaching you here, you have been following us here for a while, certainly you might have heard that the greatest lies are the half-truths. The greatest lies are not the blunt lies. And they say, this is a lie. No. The worst lies are the ones that sound as the truth, because they have some parts that are true. It's a half-truth. Yes, God is everywhere, so I don't need to go to church because God is everywhere. God is everywhere is true. But not to go to church, it is a lie. Otherwise, God would be contradicting himself. His own word would be contradicting itself. It was God who established his church. God established his temple. He established the church because when Jesus was here, personally, he attended the temple often. He honored the house of the Father. He cleansed the house of the Father by expelling the merchants, honoring the temple, which, by the way, was built by Herod, an unbeliever. But Jesus honored the house of the Father because that place was chosen to place his name. Jesus went frequently to the synagogue. When he was in the temple in Jerusalem, he would go to the synagogue, which were smaller temples spread all over Israel. Until today, there are synagogues all over the globe. So he went to synagogues, he would share the word, preach, teach. Jesus would do this. Paul followed the same example. If you read the letters of Paul, the Acts of the Apostles, you see that Paul, when he arrived in a city, soon he will look for a synagogue and he will speak about his faith. So the church was established by God of some sort of headquarters to strengthen those who are the family of faith. It is like a household. For example, do you need to live in the same house to have a family member? No. You can have a brother who lives on the other side of the city. But will you have intimacy with this brother who lives in another house? No. You are closer to certain friends who live by you. You are closer to them than your own family members. Though they share the same blood, they are distant. There's not much talk with them. But you have friends who are not of blood, but they are like your siblings. Why? Closeness, proximity. So how close we are to the house of God and our siblings of faith strengthens our faith. And the holy text, it says, you can read in Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. And let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works. To stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the manner of some, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. You see that since those days, the disciples had to deal with the abandonment of the assembling together. That some will think, I don't need to, I'm busy, I couldn't do it today, I prayed from home. Since those days, they had to deal with it. But they combat this by saying we have to consider one another in order to stir up love and good works, which means when you are together, it's like a team. All specialists in high performance, whether in sports or in business, they know a team works better when the members of the team help each other and motivate each other. There's competition, there's encouragement, there are goals. Anyway, it's no different with the church. When you go to church, then you are provoked to love and good works. You are called to practice your faith in such a way that is more real, attainable, and not to remain only in theory. Now this causes discomfort. Now I have to go to church and be part of it and do something. Yes, faith doesn't want this. The lazy faith doesn't want it. But the true faith demands it, that we may have action. The living faith has works. The dead faith has no works. That is why we go to church, to strengthen ourselves, to exhort each other, to receive strengthening. How many times I went to church and I was strengthened? How many times you've came to church discouraged and you left the church uplifted because the Spirit of God could speak with you? But the church is filled with hypocrites, yes. But don't you find that in the world where you work? So why do you work there? Tell me, why do you go to your work if there are hypocrites, corrupted people there? Why do you work there? There are hypocrites, corrupted people, bad people everywhere. This idea of, I don't go to church because there are fake people there, hypocrites. What about you, proud one? You think you are better than them. Who are you? So, dear friends, all of us have mistakes and flaws. What you need to focus on is the devil does not want this. He's the one who is most interested on you not attending the church, that you may abandon it, that you may embrace these false ideas of I can pray from home, I can read my Bible in the house, I am the church and I don't need to go to church. This is the lie you want you to practice. He knows that the church, when it's united, has more power than each individually doing their own things where they are. So what he wants is a divided house. That's what he wants, because he knows that a divided house will not prevail. He knows it. So much so that he is not divided, nor even Satan gets divided among himself. He's Satan and demons. But in the sense of destruction, they know for them to destroy, they need to come together in the purpose of destruction. So don't be a partner with Satan, giving in to this spiritual laziness and saying, I won't go to church, I don't need, it is raining. Put this within you. As a Christian, as a child of God, there should be present, as part of the body of Christ, you should be present in the house of God and participating in everything that happens in church. I thought I would share 2 symptoms, but I could only speak about 1. Tomorrow, we will go on. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.